golfj.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of the golfj.com podcast on Tuesday, April 16th, 2016. I'm Jim Sinacropi alongside Rhett Taccone, and today we'll be talking with Billy Nachman, co-founder of Criquet Shirts. Excited to talk to Billy about his Austin, Texas-based company, the truly unique vintage country club style of the shirts they're producing. Rhett and I both have a Criquet shirt on right now, and we're going to talk about how they're growing their business in an ultra-competitive space. And I guess, Rhett, without further ado, let's bring Billy in the show. Billy, how you doing? Thanks for taking time to chat with us today on the podcast.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So, um, I love I love your shirts. I love I I really find myself having trouble wearing other shirts. So I have 4 Criquet shirts now. I need to expand on it, but yeah, they go through the cycle and into the wash, and as soon as they're available, I throw them back on because they're so comfortable and such a unique look. You and your partner from New York State, now down in Austin, and it's really a 19th hole philosophy. Explain to us a little bit about what the 19th hole is.
Yeah, the 19th hole is it's sort of wherever and whenever you're sort of most at ease, whether that's hanging out with friends, at a bar, whether it's at a Saturday barbecue. For us, it's more of like a sort of a life mantra, sort of find your 19th hole wherever that may be. We're our shirts are sort of rooted in this sort of classic golf style, um, but we're as much a lifestyle brand as we are a golf brand.
Mm-hmm.
Our shirts are 100% cotton, and is it the background noise too much for you guys? I'm sorry.
No, we got you. You're okay.
Okay, good. Um, So yeah, we're 100% cotton. Our shirts are versatile. They're meant to sort of be worn on the course and off the course, at the office, wherever you're most comfortable. And that sort of goes hand in hand with that 19th hole sort of philosophy on life.
And old school vintage look. I mean, it's was it a risk? You guys set out to create the perfect polo, I guess, but to and I'll tell you a little story about kind of how I view these shirts. I had a friend in the 1980s when I was a teenager, and his dad played in so many golf tournaments, and he won so much pro shop credit that he just had an overflow of shirts and balls and stuff. And so we would go up into his closet every now and then and pull out these unopened, still in the plastic wrapper golf shirts. And when I took my first Criquet shirt out of the packaging, I felt like it was 1978 again. And and at first, I guess, did you think it was a risk, I suppose, to produce these shirts with such a vintage style because there's nothing like them out there? Um,
Yeah, I mean, I think we felt like if you're, uh, it's a crowded space, and so wherever you can kind of find your niche, I think it's important when you're growing a brand, to sort of find ways to differentiate yourself. And for us, while it's definitely a throwback shirt, and it's got its roots sort of in the late '70s, early '80s. We, as 30 something guys, were always looking for for this shirt,
yeah,
and we were having a hard time finding it, and we knew a lot of other guys like ourselves love this style of shirt, the 4-button placket, the crisp collar. um, and so while it was might have been a risk, it also was a way for us to kind of differentiate ourselves from the competition. um, it sort of lent itself to a story that was uh, that was sort of easily told, whether it's through our sort of Caddyshack references. We're huge fans of Ty Webb. Uh, it was an easy way to kind of speak to the demographic, the type of guy that we were looking to speak to. So that 30 to 45-year-old guy who grew up, watching Jack, you
sure.
know, win the Masters in '86 wearing this shirt.
Yeah.
So um,
Um,
it was a risk, but at the same time, I think it was pretty calculated as well.
I was going to ask you, Billy. Did you take cues from the great style guy icons of the '70s, like Arnold Palmer and Johnny Miller, Gary Player? Those guys. Did you kind of draw from them to form your style for these shirts as well?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I think that was a heyday.
Yeah.
With the collars, the colors, the plaids. Those guys definitely, weren't scared of showing off, some showing off a little flair. So, and I think the great thing about our shirts is you can kind of wear them how you want to.
Sure.
They work in, if you're sort of maybe more of a conservative guy, you can wear it like that, but you can also match it with some flary pants or something like, you know, we're not scared of definitely taking a chance with the combos and whatnot. So it's just versatile in that way.
Certainly. You guys, like Jim said earlier, you guys are from New York originally. So how did you talk about a little bit how you made your way down to Texas and how you actually got into the clothing business? It wasn't your first foray into the business. So
No, no, yeah. So yeah, Hob and I we grew up together in New York City. We met each other when we were five. Went to elementary school together. Went to high school together. Parted ways for our college years. He ended up going to University of North Carolina. I went to University of Oregon. Two very different sort of college experiences. Um, and then we reconnected in San Francisco around 2000, and we were there at the same time for a few years. And at that point, we were kind of on different ideas and ways that we might be able to work together. We each had our own careers. My background was in architecture. His background was in e-commerce, marketing, advertising. Also had a small stint as a writer, and the idea for Criquet kind of formulated in those years, but really didn't come to fruition until I had actually moved to Austin, Texas in 2007. I'd previously been in San Diego and was just looking for a new and up and coming city for me to sort of further my architecture career. And Hob moved out a couple of years later, and we felt like it was the perfect place to launch a business. It was a growing city. While it was small and accessible, it had a sort of a global reach. It's very exportable. It's loved both in the state of Texas and outside of the state of Texas, and it's been, it's very much a part of our brand and who we are. It's built into our DNA.
So you guys have done a great job of crafting this around the brand, old school irreverent type of feel to it, and part of it is the Cricket Clubhouse, which is like your offices, I guess. I have this image of almost like Rodney Dangerfield and Ty Webb hanging out with Judge Smales walking around. What is the culture like in your office in the Cricket Clubhouse?
Well, yeah. So it's it's our office. It's also our retail space, showroom, event space. We have parties there. But the idea was, you know, being that we're primarily an e-commerce business, we felt it was important to have a place where customers could come in and kind of see how we work, touch and feel the shirts. It was a way for us to engage with them in a very different sort of way. Um, and while we haven't had Ty Webb come through the door on a Friday afternoon happy hour, we have had plenty wannabes. There's definitely a strong kind of 19th hole spirit in Austin, and yeah, so we try and create a sort of a fun work environment. We're serious about what we do, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. We have a small team, but it's growing, you know, every month, and we're really excited about what the future holds. And we're hoping, maybe within the next year or two to kind of test the clubhouse concept in different markets. So we think there's an opportunity to kind of take the show on the road, so to speak, and whether that's in a pop-up setting or a more permanent kind of retail sort of 2.0 way. We think there's an opportunity to kind of give the brand a little bit more presence outside of the Austin area, outside of Texas, and into markets like the Northeast or the Southeast, which is a hub for us is, with our direct customers.
You mentioned pop-ups, but you had said to us prior to coming on that you're doing something in Dallas right now as a pop-up scenario with some other manufacturers.
Yeah, so I'm currently sitting in our. I just got here to Dallas. I drove in a couple of hours ago, and we are doing a pop up here with three other Texas-based brands. One of them is called Hari Mari. They make incredible flip flops. The other is Jack Mason brand, and they specialize in leather goods and watches. They also do collegiate licensing on those products. And then finally, there's a boot company out of Austin called Tacovas. And we found each other, and some of us have done work with each other before. We just felt like it was a unique offering, a unique Texas-based offering, and one that our customer would sort of appreciate all the products, so that we're sort of a good fit for each other. So yeah, we have a 3-month pop up here in Dallas. We'll see how it goes, and we have an option to kind of renew at the end of it, and hopefully we do because it's a wild success.
Yeah, right. Now you mentioned the shirt can be worn in the office, at the picnic, on the golf course, but it seems like a lot of your marketing is towards golfers. How much do you gear your product development and marketing efforts towards golf?
I would say that we use golf as a sort of a conduit to communicate with our customers, sort of in that 19th hole spirit. Golf to us is a lifestyle. It's, even if you don't really have the time to play as much as you might like. I mean, I'm a father of a 4-year-old. I have a startup company. I don't get to play as much as I would like to, but it's sort of an aspirational thing for me. And I would say probably half of our customers just, would consider themselves golfers, but don't golf that much. And then, there's obviously the hardcores, but most of us are just kind of weekend warriors. But we use golf, and we use the sort of Caddyshack references. We use golf style as a means to communicate to our customer who understands the lifestyle and aspirationally wants to kind of engage with it, but may not have the time. So that's kind of the connection. From a product standpoint, we're not looking to compete with your Nikes or your Under Armours. I think they've kind of mastered the technical fabric, the performance fabrics. We're very sort of outspoken in our commitment to cotton, and we feel like for us and our customer, it's one, it's a way to differentiate ourselves from the competition, and two, it's a way to offer a shirt that not many other people are offering. We are in the process of sampling and developing a cotton-based performance shirt, which we're hoping to launch in the spring of 2017. It's in the sort of sampling stages right now, so we would like to be able to offer a shirt that maybe would perform a little bit better in the summers here in Texas. But for the time being, there's a lot of growth for us ahead. Just sticking to our guns, which is like a super soft, super comfortable cotton shirt.
But with the shirt you have now, the player's shirt is probably your most predominant product. But talk a little bit about the cut of that. Is there any plans to change that up, or is there any ways to differentiate that and make the collars different, or is it you're going to stick to the same?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're constantly, for us, it's a quest. The journey is never over. We're constantly looking at ways to sort of improve the product, and we've done that in multiple ways with slight adjustments to the specifications and the fit. We're a regular fit shirt. We're not a slim fit shirt. We like to say for the formerly athletic guys. So up top, up here in the shoulders and chest, we're all good. But once you go a little bit lower, you might run into some extra lbs.
Plays into that weekend warrior theme.
Yeah, exactly. But over the years we've changed manufacturers. We've made some slight modifications to the player shirt, but we're coming close to where we want to be with it. And that being said, we did realize that there was a demand for more of a slim fit shirt. So we launched that 2 weeks ago. So there is now a slim fit player shirt, and the sleeves are a little bit shorter. The torso is a little bit more fitted. So if you're used to wearing like a medium or a large in our standard player shirt, you might size up in the slim fit. So I go from medium to a large in our slim fit. Yeah, so it's an evolution for sure. As I said earlier, it's a quest. We're always looking at ways to improve our product and listen to our customers, and so that's kind of where we're at with it.
So
But the player shirt is by far and away our best-selling shirt. It's what we're known for. We have transitioned into some more lifestyle pieces, which would include wovens and button downs and
Green jackets. I saw that on the website.
Oh yeah, green jacket. Yeah, that was a collaborative project with a company out of New York City called Basque, and they make toweling jackets. So they're made from terry cloth. So they're meant to actually, you can wear it at the pool if you want. You can wear it out on a Saturday night. It's
very versatile.
Pretty cool jacket. And we launched it right in time for the Masters, so we got some really good press around that, and sold through them in around a week. So it was pretty exciting.
How's the crowdfund promo for the team shirts this year? How's
It's
that
going
going?
great. Yeah. So every year last year, and then this year we're doing it again. We launched a Tailgate Collection, which we pre-sell on a crowdfunding kind of platform, and it allows us to kind of gauge the appetite for certain school colors and combinations before going into full production. The last thing you want to do is commit to a certain color combination and then be left holding the bag and not sell through on the product.
Sure.
So by pre-funding, we're able to kind of gauge that interest, and it's been a huge success. It was last year, and we're excited to. I think we'll announce the 4 or 5 shirts that we're proceeding with in the next week or two. So
is it mandatory you have to have the burnt orange one being in Austin?
burnt orange is definitely in the mix. I mean, burnt orange is actually now it's one of our core colors.
That's
so
pretty
that
cool.
Will always be there going forward. We've done variations on the burnt orange with certain stripe patterns and whatnot, but the solid burnt orange will always be there.
Sure.
And I'm not a Longhorn. I'm an Oregon Duck.
Sure.
So I'd love to say that it was the green and yellow striped shirt was going to be there year in and year out, but unfortunately just haven't had the same response.
Yeah, Austin base probably helps too.
Yeah, exactly.
So DJ Trahan wore a Criquet last week at the Valero, Texas Open. And how did that come about?
He reached out to us. His agent reached out to us last week, and he was coming in for the Valero to San Antonio, which is around 70 miles south of Austin, and he had expressed an interest in our brand and sort of liked our marketing, and actually liked the fact that we make a nice, comfortable cotton shirt. So we met up with his agent in the middle of last week, and we gave him some shirts, and a couple members of our team went on Thursday to meet him and hung out with him for an hour or so during the rain delay. Said he's a super awesome guy. Seemed really excited about the brand. There's no sort of formal arrangement at this point.
So he was kind of like just did it because he liked the brand, that's really awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously he doesn't have a shirt deal in place, but it felt good to have someone with his level of success taking interest in, and at least want to give the shirts a shot. And he made the cut. I think he had some back issues, either end of day on Saturday or Sunday, but I think he had to withdraw. But he did make it through the first couple rounds and make the cut and played on Saturday. So we'll see where it goes. We haven't had a conversation with him since, but yeah, it was exciting. We've actually had another player a couple of years ago, Chris Doak, on the European tour. was wearing our shirts during the U.S. Open at Pinehurst,
Okay.
which was kind of exciting too. So we have a couple ambassadors out there on several of the tours, whether it's PGA with DJ or Chris Doak on the Euro Tour, or a few guys on the Latin American tour, Canadian tour. It's nice to know that there's professionals out there who appreciate the product.
Well, I wore your red player shirt during the championship match of our club championship at Seneca Falls Country Club. I don't know if you noticed a sales spike or anything.
Oh, definitely, it was huge.
Yeah.
What date was that?
That was Labor Day weekend of last year, and I lost. Had I won, it probably you might have sold out. Of the red
That's a
model.
bummer. That would have been a good story for us to tell. The red cricket shirt wins you a championship.
Power red.
I wore blue in the semis and red in the finals. So
Nice. Good to know.
Hey,
Yeah, I think the Northeast is great. It's perfect weather for our shirts too. I mean, I think up where you guys are.
we had them in our pro shop at Seneca Falls.
Yeah,
We placed an order. We had a nice display. Sold a
Nice.
good number of them. They definitely piqued the interest of. It stood out, in the pro
Yeah.
shop because we do have the Under Armour rack, and then right next to it is such a contrast with the cricket display, and so it's really a matter of personal taste. There's some people that probably would never wear a cricket shirt, and
Sure.
then there's some people that were just dying to find some sort of alternative to the the Under Armours and the Nikes, like you say, which occasionally I don't mind wearing the Under Armour, but I just feel more comfortable in the crickets. I like the way it looks. I look different than. It's funny too. You go to some of these golf tournaments and you'll see 3 different guys wearing the exact same Under Armour shirt. And so if you really want to have a unique look and style, to find a brand like Cricket was great for me.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's we definitely wanted to set out. We set out to build a brand that was different from the competition. So I'm glad that's resonating.
So, Billy, speaking of tournaments, there's the Invitational that you guys promote quite a bit down there in Austin. You got to tell us a little bit about that. Maybe we can get into that someday.
Yeah, well, this year's the 10th anniversary of the Invitational, and it was started by 2 guys in Austin, 2 friends, and I think in the beginning it was just kind of a way to get their friends together on a Saturday afternoon at Lyons Municipal Golf Course and play golf and have fun. And over the years, it's grown into the world's greatest golf party.
I was going to say, it doesn't look like you're having any fun at all at those things.
Yeah. No, it's funny. The best mustache wins a golf cart.
Wow.
The best dress wins a golf cart, and the lowest score gets booed. So you can get a sense of what kind of tournament it is. And I got to be honest, I would say less than half the people actually finish 15 holes.
Right.
So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great way for us to meet folks in Austin and like-minded guys, and fits our demographic perfectly.
Are cricket shirts the required attire for the tournament?
That or whatever crazy costume people want to wear.
Right, caddy outfits.
If you're going with a sort of a 70s golf look, Caddyshack, you're required to wear cricket. But some people come dressed as Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper. So there's all kinds of crazy costumes.
Well, if you're interested in the brand, you can go to criquetshirts.com. That's CRIQUET shirts.com. They're on Twitter at Criquet Shirts, Facebook.com/Criquet Shirts, and on Instagram, Instagram.com/Criquet Shirts. All great follows. A lot of funny pictures and some all good follows. I follow them on all those things, and I'm always happy when I see a new post. And that's actually how I learned about DJ Trahan.
Right.
And so once I saw that, I was following Trahan. I was kind of pulling for him because
Nice.
You imagine if he it gets into contention on Sunday, all of a sudden your shirt's up there. That's like hitting the lottery almost. And
Yeah. No, we were pulling for him too. And thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. And we try and make things fun. So if anyone's interested in following us on any of those channels, we're sure to make it a good time for you.
Well, Rhett and I are big fans here at golfj.com, and Billy, appreciate you taking some time out to chat with us. So we're going to look forward to seeing what you guys come up with next.
Thanks,
Great.
Billy.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Have a great day.
All right, bye.
See ya. So thanks for joining us on this special edition of the GolfJ.com podcast. All of our episodes and the best of the wide world of golf on the web can be found at GolfJ.com. We'll be back on Monday night with another episode. Until then, my friends, remember to hit 'em long, not often.
GolfJ.com